exclusive insight into the world of Badger athletics, this is Wisconsin Huddle. Here's Andrew Banstra.
Welcome into Cousin Subs. I'm Andrew Banstra, and this is the Wisconsin Huddle Volleyball version Best of Edition. Wisconsin Volleyball was a whole lot of fun to get to know this year, and more importantly, to introduce you to at home. Let's look back at some of the best of over the course of this season, starting off with Jada Cerniglia telling the story of finishing her college career where it all started. Welcome back inside Jay's Bar here in Madison. I'm Andrew Banstra with our co-host Jada Cerniglia. And of course, this is the Student Athletes segment presented by Gruber Law Offices. Jada, I couldn't not mention the incredible family ties that you have to Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. You mentioned you wear the same number that your mom did when she played volleyball. Here, yep. Your dad played hockey at Wisconsin at the Kohl Center, what is now the Kohl Center, yep. Which is where you guys opened the season, and your brother played football. Yeah. How full circle is it that you are now here at Wisconsin as a Badger?
I have told this story about 1 million times, and I'll tell it for the rest of my life. It's been a dream come true to be here. It's been my dream to be a Badger since I could walk. I've grown up around Wisconsin volleyball my entire life, so I know what it means to be a Badger, and I know how special that is. To see my mom kind of play her first year, and I'm playing my last year, I'm kind of finishing what she started in a sense, which I think is super cool. Taking kind of how my dad acted in college, because apparently we're twins. Okay. So we acted pretty similar, and we had similar things in college, and so I think that's really awesome. And then seeing my brother kind of take on his own role on the team here and play in Badger Red has been so cool. And for me to end up here for my last year is just perfect.
What was that recruitment process like when you were in the portal? I imagine you knew you wanted to be here. Yeah. How did that conversation go, and how did it end in like, yes, here's your offer, you're going to be a Badger?
Yeah, so my transfer portal process was a lot different than some. It took a little bit longer. I still had to graduate from my previous school, so I was there until May, and then I could come. So I was kind of waiting it out. I reached out to Kelly a couple times, no answer, no answer, no answer, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to be persistent, see how this goes. I've known him for a really long time, good family friend, so I had that prior relationship with him, so I always know he means well. Yeah. And then a couple months later, he reaches back out, and he's like, hey, can you talk? Like, great morning, whatever. It's his thing. Great morning, great afternoon.
I've heard about this.
Yes. And I was like, yes, I can talk. So I sprinted out of bed, ran downstairs, took the call, and he's kind of chit-chatting with me, and then all of a sudden he just stops the conversation. He's like, do you want to be a part of this program? And I'm like, absolutely, I do. And then from there, I was on my visit, committed, and the rest is history. Now I'm here.
I imagine you'd been waiting for that call your whole life, right?
Yeah, for sure.
What was it like when you told your family about this? I imagine that it was pretty emotional for them as well.
Yeah, I FaceTime my mom first, she didn't answer. FaceTime my dad next, did answer. So then I FaceTimed them both, and then they finally answered. And I screen recorded the call because I knew that it would be a very emotional thing, and I ended up making a video about it later, telling all my friends and family about it. But my dad immediately put on his Letterman jacket, he threw up the W, and it was just a super cool moment.
So when you put on the Badger uniform for the first time, what was that like? And tell me a little bit more about that whole situation with your mom and finding her jersey. You mentioned that, but that's really cool.
Yeah, putting the jersey on for the first time was a very surreal moment. I remember our red and white scrimmage, that was the first time I ever put it on, and I walked in the field house, and I was just like, in awe the entire day. Just walking out with Badger Red on 13 and Cerniglia on my back was super cool. But yeah, the night before my visit, I was like throwing things around trying to figure out where my her jersey was, and I finally found it in like some random blanket basket. I don't know how it ended up there, but it did. And then showing her that next day and surprising her was really special.
And what was it like, taking the field or the court at the Kohl Center as well, somewhere where your dad had played? Like, you've really connected all the dots with your family here, right?
Yeah, no, that was super cool too. I remember the first practice we had there, I think it was a couple days before we played. I walked in and I was just like trying to take everything in because he also worked within athletics while I was growing up, so I would run those halls when I was little. So some of his old coworkers saw me in the hallway and they were like, "You're not this little anymore, like you're like all grown up." And I'm like, "I know, it's crazy." So being in there and sharing that with him was super cool. And on the game day, I wore one of his old hockey jackets. I felt like it was fitting, so it was really awesome.
Jada was an absolute gem, but enough reminiscing. We've got much more to look over, such as Mimi Colyer, the all Big Ten first teamer, is on next. You won't want to miss this. Next on the Wisconsin Huddle. Welcome back into Cousin Subs. This is the Wisconsin Huddle Volleyball Best of Edition. I'm Andrew Banstra, and let's get into Mimi Colyer, whose lone season at Wisconsin was downright incredible. But where would you rank it on the Mimi meter, and what even is the Mimi meter? Let's find that out right now. And Mimi, you're having quite the senior year. You ranked top 5 in the NCAA in kills and points per set. Here's a stat for you you may not have known. You tied Dana Retke for a Badger record with 12 straight games with double-digit kills. When you start getting in that kind of territory, that is Badger legends. What's this season been like for you on the court?
It's been so fun. There's been so much growing, both on my part, both on the team's part. Like everyone strives to do their best every single day and strives to get better. And I've just never been on a team where everyone just cares so much about that, and there's just such an emphasis put on that. And yeah, the coaches do such a great job at allowing that growth to happen and really encouraging that, so it's been really fun.
How would you evaluate this team at this point in the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think a big thing for us is, we always want to peak at the right time. Come December, come end of November, we want to really be kind of hitting our stride. And I think right now we're on track to do that. I think there's still growing pains. I think we're still, we're always going to be learning things, but we're gelling really well right now, and we're figuring out just all parts of our game. And I think come December that, we're going to be a really damn good team.
We're going to introduce another brand new game, and This, unlike Scroll Patrol, might just be a one-time thing because it really only works with you.
Okay.
We're going to call it the Mimi meter. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rank the following things?
Okay.
Did you get a chance to go to the farmer's market here in Madison?
I did. It was so fun.
What'd you think?
10.
10 easily?
Yep.
I would
awesome.
agree. I mean,
Yeah.
did you get Stella's bread or anything?
So we didn't get that because it was like the line was so long.
Yep,
But
yep.
we got some cheese curds.
Yep.
We tried some. There was just like a cute coffee stand. It was a really nice day too. The whole experience, 10 out of 10.
Okay, so you mentioned it, cheese curds. What are your thoughts? And had you had
10.
them? 10?
10.
Yeah, they're
So,
the best, right?
Yeah, I didn't know that cheese curds came like without the breading.
Yeah.
So we had like the actual like squeaky cheese.
Okay, those are the ones you like?
So yeah, I didn't know they existed.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was weird. And you know, Jada, Wisconsin native, was like, no, they literally squeak when you eat them. And I was like, that makes no sense.
It doesn't.
But they did, and they squeaked, and it was weird.
You mentioned coffee. The coffee options on campus. Where would you rate those 1 through 10? And
10.
10?
Yeah.
Yeah?
We go to Collectivo. We like Comfort. We got the Starbucks. We've got the mocha is really good. We've got so many options. Yeah, 10.
Are you a big coffee person?
Big coffee girl. Love
Okay.
a vanilla latte.
Yep.
The oat chata from Collectivo, really good. If you
Sure.
haven't had it, yeah.
Speaking of things in Madison and things in Wisconsin, the cold weather. You're from California. How do you like it?
0.
0?
0. When I moved here, it was literally -3 degrees. My
Oh.
like gas tank thing froze, and my car didn't start. And I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
The black ice and learning how to drive on the snow, that was awful. 0.
1 out of 10, your competitiveness. We talked about the Colyer Olympics, and would you consider yourself a pretty competitive person?
Yeah, I'd probably go like a 7 or an 8. I'm pretty competitive, but I feel like I've got a pretty good feel of when to kind of turn it on and off. People might disagree with me on that, but I feel like I've got a pretty good gauge on when to tone it down.
Sure. And
Yeah.
we'll say one more, the emotions you maybe show on the court. Something that I've noticed from you is that you're very engaged with your teammates
Yeah.
right after it happens. How important is that to you? And how much value maybe does it provide to pick people up and keep the energy up?
Yes, I'll say like I'm a 7.
Okay.
I think that I've definitely been more emotional and more hyped than I have ever before. I think showcasing that because we are playing with such a younger group of girls, I think I'm usually a pretty steady player, and I think usually I haven't been as maybe excited on the
Sure.
court. But I think showing that to our young players and kind of showing how, right, this is an exciting game, like we like to play volleyball, they've kind of needed me to be more just outwardly excited.
Yeah.
But it's been fun. I think they thrive off of the high and playing excited, and we play really well when we are happy and excited, and it's just we're having a good time. So yeah, they definitely have brought that out in me, and it's been fun.
Speaking of new games, Scroll Patrol was introduced in Season 3 of the Wisconsin Huddle. We're going to put Allie Andrews to the test next.
You're watching Wisconsin Huddle.
Welcome back inside Cousins Subs. I'm Andrew Banstra, and this is the Wisconsin Huddle. For as good as the Badgers are on the volleyball court this year, they're also pretty darn good at social media, which is why we had to introduce a game that we like to call Scroll Patrol. Check it out. We've talked about a lot of things, not so much volleyball, so let's do just that. 2 straight ranked wins for the Badgers. What can this team be? Like, how good is this team right now?
We're always looking at, okay, how can we win a national championship? Like, we're a team where we have the goal of we want to compete at the highest level, we want to win at the highest level. I think this week getting those 2 big wins, especially with the RPI in consideration, was huge for us. I don't think we've unlocked our potential yet. I think that we're gelling together really well and we're working together really well, but I can't wait to see what we can keep doing.
So looking back at the season, obviously there's a lot of highlights, but one of the biggest highlights has to be going back home.
Yeah.
What was that experience like for you playing a couple of matches basically in your backyard?
Yes, that was so fun. So I have actually never competed on the West Coast, coming from the Big 12 conference and now in the Big 10. Since Washington and Oregon just got added, that was huge. So being able to compete at University of Washington was so fun. I got to have all of my family there, my grandma. Like, I probably have 20 tickets at that game, which was so fun. My brother had never gotten to come to a game, so he got to come to the Oregon one, so that was really special. But just getting to play at home, it was fun getting to go back.
So I have to ask, who is the real UW? Is it Washington or is it Wisconsin?
Oh, here, Wisconsin all the way.
Good,
No,
sure.
Wisconsin all the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've talked a bit about volleyball, but now we got to go back to a fan favorite game that has only been around for 1 week. Ooh. We call it Scroll Patrol. Now, maybe went 4 for 4 last week. We've got 4 more Instagram posts. The very first caption, and you can look now because it's all blanked out. This is a very interesting caption. It says, "Need a plunger for this one." Not sure what that could be referring to.
Oh my gosh.
And that doesn't really give you any hints,
No,
honestly.
no, it doesn't. I'm trying to use some context clues and need a plunger for this one? I'm thinking Charlie.
You got it.
Okay.
You got it.
I was like, that seems like a Charlie. She's pretty unserious with her captions too.
So
I'd love to know the backstory between that one though. Because need a plunger for this one. I need a backstory.
So this one maybe a little bit easier, right?
Oh.
The caption reads,
"Forever thankful for Baylor volleyball." Wonder who that could be.
I wonder who it could be. Any guesses?
Is her name Allie?
It is. Yeah, it is.
Perfect.
She's sitting right here.
Perfect. Yeah. No, I had to pay homage to my former team, former school, but I was so excited for this opportunity and to get to come here, and was not in the portal for very long, but it worked out, and I'm so happy to be here.
So you're 2 for 2. We've got 2 more posts to go. Okay, this one also is pretty tough.
Okay.
The caption is, "Saw Jack Harlow today. How about you?"
Ooh. So I was gonna guess it was either Addie or Kristen. I feel like they're big concert girls. I'm thinking Kristen then.
Kristen it is.
Okay.
3 for 3. I don't exactly know who on the left is, but
Yeah, I don't either,
Yeah.
but Kristen looks cute. She's got a cute little pink dress on. Love that for her.
okay, so here's the 4th one. You can look now. It is iced lavender latte, please.
Okay, so the caption kind of gives this one away for sure. I'm gonna guess Mimi
You got it.
because she's a big ice lavender latte girl.
Sure. Let's hear it for 4 for 4. That's pretty good. I'm still not exactly sure what I might need a plunger for this one needs, and honestly, we may never know and might not want to know. We've still got much more on the docket when we return to the Wisconsin Huddle. Welcome back inside Cousin Subs. This is the Wisconsin Huddle Volleyball Best of Edition. I have a question for you. If I said, what would you give a TED Talk about if you had to do one? What would you do? My answer is, honestly, I'm not exactly sure, but I do know somebody who has an answer. It's Madison Quest, and here it is. Madison, this is always one of my favorite games to play, Badger Banter. We're going to ask you a very unique question, get your response on it, and then, of course, hear what your teammates had to say. Our question this week is, if you had to give a TED Talk on something that was not in any way related to volleyball, what would it be and why?
If I had to give a TED Talk, ooh, that's a good question.
It's a tough one. Like, I don't know what I would say if I was asked that, so it's a tough one, but some of them maybe you're an expert at or consider yourself.
I don't know if I necessarily consider myself an expert, but I'll say this is something I kind of enjoy. I'd maybe talk about different, like, wellness something. Maybe
Sure.
like, I really like doing Pilates, so I think maybe like giving some sort of talk on like Pilates or how to do that. I think I could do that.
Fair enough. Like, you stand in front of an audience, you're like, all right, you do this and that and this. That's your go-to?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's a good one, and it's something that not everybody knows about, but it's also something that could help people a lot. So I think that's a fantastic answer. Some of your teammates, though, I don't know that I would classify their answers as fantastic. Let's hear what they had to say.
First thing that comes to mind, he's like, I was just talking about an informative speech on farts, but like, I don't think I could give a TED Talk on farts, but I guess farts? I don't know.
Okay, works for me.
I don't know. We're just gonna go with that answer. I have nothing, like, there's nothing else going on in the brain. That's like the only answer coming to mind right now.
Probably The Sims. Yeah, I love The Sims. I play The Sims all the time, and I know everything about mods and cache files and all that stuff, so I could give a TED Talk on that.
How many hours a week would you say?
Right now it's inconsistent, but in my prime, I was spending like 80 to 160 hours a week on that game.
Dang, would you say like your top
I don't
tier?
even know if there's that many hours in the week. I don't know.
Be like leadership stuff.
Okay. And what would you maybe talk about in that?
Some key points, just bringing the team with you through adversity, being someone they can lean on, and being a voice in a quiet gym.
I think I finally came up with my answer. It's the fact that Cousin Subs is the only sandwich shop I know of that has French fries and cheese curds. That's my kind of sandwich shop. We'll close up this sandwich when we return to the Wisconsin Huddle.
You're watching Wisconsin Huddle.
This is the Wisconsin Huddle, so we always break it down with a huddle. What's your favorite way to break a huddle?
Okay, we're going to go hands in, but we have to connect.
Sure.
Right? And we're going to go Badgers on 3, 1, 2, 3, Badgers.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Badgers on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Badgers! Introducing you to the Wisconsin volleyball team was an absolute honor. They were fantastic, and I wish we could do even more this season. And speaking of that, you're not getting rid of me that fast. We'll be back to regularly scheduled programming, doing live shows right here at Cousin Subs next to UW-Madison's campus. For now, I'm Andrew Banstra signing off from the Wisconsin Huddle Best of Volleyball Edition.
We put our hands together.
Sure.
Like that, and we all make sure we connect.
Sure.
And then we say Badgers on 3.
Sure.
And then
1, 2, 3, Badgers.
We'll see you next week on the Wisconsin Huddle.